So today, Iowa were really good against USC. I think it was a combination of Iowa being really good and USC thinking that they literally just had to show up to win. I think that was what they thought. They thought we show up, we win this game, we spoil the party for Caitlin Clark, her jersey retirement. But at the same time, this is an interesting one because all of the Fever staff were at that game, and the best player on the court was not Juju Watkins. It was Lucy Olsen. Before we get on to things, though, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to have 42,350 subscribers by the end of the day. That is a crazy goal. I literally had to set a goal for 42,000 by the end of the month. We're not going to hit like 45,000 by the end of the month. If we can hit like 43,000 by the end of February, we're on track for the goal, which is 45k by the start of the new year, or by the start of the season. If we can somehow get to 45 by the end of this month, dear Lord, we're going for 50 by the time the season starts. But it's the NBA channel. Either way, what Lucy Olsen did yesterday was impressive. It was impressive. And for the Fever, it's an interesting one. Because, well, what she did today, if you're depending on what country you're in. What Lucy Olsen did, like where she's going to end up in the draft, she's not having the best season. She is a 5'10" two-guard who can play a bit at a point, cannot under any circumstance shoot the three ball. She is a mid-range sniper. She can't shoot the three ball. The thing with Lucy Olsen is that she is going to be there at 19-20. No chance anyone takes her above 19. But she might not be there for the Fever's pick in the third round. I think she's likely there for the Fever's pick in the third round. May not be there. But the thing is that all the Fever staff were there to almost scout her. And like early on in the game, like she didn't do too much. But it was really like end of the quarter. Like she just took over. The passes she was making to Stolke, the passes she was making to O'Grady. She was so impressive in this game. Like, look at that dump down to Addie O'Grady. Like, she's not a true point guard, but she's a good passer, especially going downhill. She's good at making the dish pass. This was the biggest shot of the game to give Iowa the lead to end the third quarter. And she went on. Like, the shots she can hit from the mid is berserk. Like, I do think there are systems where she could actually thrive offensively. And the Stephanie White system where she runs an awful lot of kind of curl cuts or flex sometimes, things that are basically almost flex cuts at times. Like getting that in the mid-range would be insane. But Grace Berger would also do that. And, I got rid of Grace Berger. So that is always an interesting one. But I thought she was really good today. But for me, I'm like, I know they've technically scouted Lucy Olsen. They were not really at that game to scout, but like teams have their own scouting teams. I do think they would definitely be interested. That game has effectively meant that she'll be drafted somewhere. It doesn't guarantee she makes a roster, but she'll be taken in the third round. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Somebody's going to take Lucy Olsen in the third round. It's just whether or not she gets. If you are taking like teams might use their second round picks, and like are you wasting a pick taking Lucy Olsen as a backup point guard? I think they've got a vet lined up. There's no way they got rid of their backup point guard for nobody. And the amount of people are saying, oh, they got Jaylen Brown. So when they got rid of Grace Berger, people are like, oh no, they've already signed Jaylen Brown. I'm like, yeah, but they're probably going to cut her in training camp. It's going to be Saxton Brown. It's not even going to be Saxton Brown. Realistically, it's going to be Saxton Brown and the 2 second round picks they take competing for one spot. Competing for one spot and one spot only. That's the way things are going to be. But at that position, if I'm just taking Hailey Van Lith, like if it's there at 19, I am taking Hailey Van Lith. What Hailey Van Lith did today was unbelievable. 28 points against a decent Iowa State team. 5 rebounds. And it's a game they won. Sedona Prince literally scored 0 points. Like Hailey Van Lith is the best player on the 9th best team in the nation. She's doing more than Lucy Olsen. I think she's shooting a pretty similar percent. She's just better than Lucy Olsen. She just is. Like Hailey Van Lith's really good. Like Van Lith is going to be in the W. I reckon the Valkyries, she's not going to get past the Valkyries in the second round because the Valkyries are probably like, look, we can get someone to put butts in seats. People are going to be excited to watch Hailey Van Lith. But like, she is doing so well at TCU. She's been unbelievable. Like, if I was like, her going to TCU was the perfect decision, the absolute right decision for her. And like, I would go for a Van Lith. If I'm looking at, say, a small point guard in that second round, I would go with Van Lith. But there are a lot of players for me that the Indiana Fever should look at with 19 or 20 before they look at Lucy Olsen. I know I heard Rachel Demita talking about it in a short or in a Twitter video maybe. And she was talking about, oh, this could happen. They were there to watch Caitlin Clark, but, you know, they were also there to watch Lucy Olsen. I'm like, I think they might, if they were there to scout, they were scouting Rhea Marshall from USC. A long, athletic, defensive-minded center. Not a 5'10", non-3-point shooting, isolation scoring 2-guard who can play a bit of the one. And that's not a knock on Lucy Olsen. She's a hell of a player. She is going to be probably drafted in the 3rd round, somewhere in the 3rd round. But like, she is probably the best player and the 30th best team in the nation. Whereas in the 2nd round, you can get the defensive anchor for the 4th best team in the nation, USC. Yes, I outplayed them today. In general, you can get that. You can get the player that plays the exact same role for the 9th best team in the nation in Hailey Van Lith, who is also a bigger name. I just don't see it happening. Like, people have been talking about Lucy Olsen maybe to the Fever purely because they were there to scout. But I'm like, I'm sorry. They were there to support Caitlin Clark. They were not there at that game to scout. There was probably very little scouting done, more than, oh, she played. She's a good player. Oh, look at the mid-range shot. And I'm like, you've got a coach you've got a team that doesn't need the point guard to create their own shot. Like, the job of the point guard in the Fever system is literally just going to be to launch the ball ahead. It's just throw the ball ahead. Like, that is what their job is going to be, the backup to Caitlin. If somebody just throws the ball ahead constantly, that's all you need to do. Not even run fast. Because you get the ball, you're immediately head on a swivel, turn up, and you're looking to launch. You're either looking to launch or you're looking to go and then launch. Like, that's basically what the point guard has to do. Just be an elite transition passer. With the way, if they want to keep the same style, transition passing is the main thing, and I've not seen that yet from Lucy Olsen. But you just never know what's going to happen. Could the Fever take her? Potentially. They're not going to take her one of 19 or 20. 19 or 20 is too high right now for Lucy Olsen. Especially with the talent in this draft. You can get like a JJ Quinterly and Isaiah James, a Neepkins. One of those probably going to be available. Sanaya Rivers might be available. These are top tier players. 2024 draft is an exception. These are draft players that would have been top 5 in 2023. And they're going to be available there at 20. There's a non-0% chance the Fever get Lucy Olsen, but it's just not going to be with that 2nd round pick. But anyway, I'll see you guys.